Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Deja Vu here, bringing you the ace match of MBCGame Hero versus WeMadeFox. This is going to be a redemption game, as MBCGame is sending out C, who fell to Baby, and WeMadeFox is sending out Pure, who lost in that last game on Aztec to Hyun. So one of these players is going to go home a hero for their team, and the other one's going to go home as the GOAT, who lost twice. Who will it be? Well, we're going to find out on the map Icarus, and the start positions are at the cardinal directions 12, 3, 6, 9. And you have a natural expansion, and then the only other expansions on the map other than your main and your natural are in the corners, and there's very, very narrow ramps that go up to this high ground, and that's where the other expansions are, and that's it. There's really only 12 bases on this map, which is pretty small. Most maps nowadays on once you get to the size 128, 128, which this is, you usually see 14, 15, 16 bases. 12 is definitely on the lower end. And we'll see what these guys have for us here on Icarus. It's been a pretty balanced map overall. Yeah, no one really able to get too big of a dominant lead. We've seen Zergs beat on Terrans at a 60% rate, which is pretty good, but that's really the only one that's really the only matchup that's been at all kind of skewed here as we go. And we actually have had a decent number of games. We are 5 weeks in, and with these best of 7s, no map is really being unused. So at pretty much every single series you're seeing the maps played. So the number of games, the significance of these numbers is growing pretty quickly. Usually it takes a round or 2 rounds before a specific map gets enough games to matter, but not this time. Not with these best of 7s. This should be this should be a very, very exciting game. Oh, one thing I did want to mention is that due to the length of this game, I'm not going to tell you exactly how long it is, but I will be cutting it off. Following the GG, I will be cutting it off very, very quickly within a few seconds in order to get it within a certain number of parts. Just to let you know, I calculated the time because I downloaded it and kind of, yeah. So it's going to have to cut off very, very quickly. But you will see all of the game, don't worry. I'll probably have to cut off mid-sentence or something. You'll probably hear me talking about something that they did that I didn't like or that I liked, and it'll just cut off in the middle. But no big deal. I want to keep it in a limited number of pieces to make my life easier. That's all. We do have a quick Nexus coming in for Pure. Looks like that was a 1-gate Nexus. I was kind of talking with my hands, so I wasn't really paying attention to whether he got a core or not. I think that was just a 1-gate Nexus. And, yeah, it looks like Sieg got his barracks up, pretty standard, and it's going out for the Scout. It's going to see the pylon and the Nexus here, but that's, yeah, pretty standard stuff. Looky. And she's like, oh, look at what he's doing. I've got some sweaty hands here. I'm the patented sweat man. I can't believe. Look at that. He's like wiping his hands like every 30 seconds he has to wipe his hand. I wonder if his APM like falls. If like you watched an APM chart of him, if you can see his distinctive drops when he has to wipe his hands due to so much sweat that he's got to dry off. He's actually one of those guys that has a towel there, and he's always just constantly wiping his hands and stuff. I bet once you get into a game, I'm sure he stops doing it. But especially at the beginning of games, you'll see him just sitting there wiping his hands, trying to keep them dry for the long haul, just in case he ends up in like one of those 40-minute games. And I wonder if he goes through mouses because they're just like sopped in like his hands sweat, and he has to like throw them out because they're just nasty and disgusting. I'm sure that he's the brunt of a lot of jokes in the house. And it looks like we're going to have a bunker rush coming from C. This is pretty late. I don't know if this is really going to be all that effective. It's going to be a support by that Vulture, which is going to be important. But this should be pretty close. Whether or not he'll be able to come away with a win out of the bunker rush and take down the Nexus, which is really what he's trying to do. 2 Zealots have been produced, and there should be a Dragoon or 2 on the way. And it looks like the probes are being pulled off now, and no bunker has been started quite yet. It looks like yeah, I'm not really entirely sure. There's the bunker starting out, and it looks like Pure is just going to try and hold his ramp, not worry so much about the natural, and he's going to try and hold his ramp. Now doing a little bit of a probe drill here, trying to catch the Vulture, which is obviously the most difficult part for him to break, and is able to take down the Vulture, but that bunker is going to get up, pretty much, yeah, that bunker is going to get up, so he's going to have to wait to get range before he can take it down. And we'll see how close range is, or how long it takes him to get 3, 4, 5 Dragoons in order to take it down, or if that Nexus is going to fall. It will be pretty close. I think he only has 1 gateway, though, which is kind of an error on his part to go with only 1 gateway at this point. We could be seeing a probe in the top right. Maybe we'll see a hidden Nexus, a hidden Nexus, and there's Hyun, who came away with a victory against Pure, and he's like, oh yeah, I beat him already, now C's gonna beat him, oh yeah, we're doing good. We're beating on Pure a little bit here. It looks like this Nexus is going to fall. Yeah, I can't see him saving that Nexus. It's just too far dead already. Even if he gets range, he's not going to be able to take everything down in time, and the Nexus does fall. And, what was that? I couldn't tell who that was. Maybe that was, I don't think that was Baby. Baby has kind of a narrower, a little more angular, smoother face due to his being 12. I think he's like 15 or 16 now, actually, Baby, but he's still very, very, very young. And he still has that young look to him. And now Spider Mines are out as well, so C really pouring on the whole I am going to contain you hardcore. So maybe this could actually end up being a very dedicated contain here. Trying to hold Pure to just the one base, try and get an expo up himself, get a couple siege tanks, see if he can get siege upgraded. Probably needs to pull that tank back. Once he gets siege mode, he's going to have to pull that tank back to the left a little bit. He doesn't want to be in range from the top of the ramp. He doesn't want to be in a range where the Dragoons can shoot down at the siege tanks. He wants to be able to outrange them. So that's something to look out for. And a Marine actually got into the main of Pure and is wandering around getting a scout on. So he sees the robotics facility, knows how long it's going to be until an observer comes out. I'm sure they have that timed out. I don't actually know those kinds of things. Like, it's going to be 52 seconds by the time the observatory completes and an observer is produced. Like, that sort of thing that I'm sure that C knows, which happens when you play, you know, 12 hours a day, or even if it's just 8 hours a day. When you play that long, you're going to learn those kinds of things. A second bunker being produced here for Pure, or for C. And Pure is still working off just the one gateway here. Robotics support bay being produced. So we're going to see observers and we're going to see reavers. So this is kind of a desperate ploy by Pure. Pure not going to go for a macro at all. He's going to try and bust out with this with some shuttle play. Looks like maybe he'll do a depression here, throw his anti-elevator, get some Dragoons out on the low ground and try and pincer the group at his front. Or he could go for a little bit of a counterattack. Actually looks like he's trying to set up for a counterattack. We'll see how effective that is, but the contain is still on him, and a couple missile turrets coming up all over the place, both at the inside both players' naturals. There's missile turrets, and on the top of C's ramp at his main. So C still looking in very, very good shape, getting that second base up and running, getting that big economic boost, and just needs to watch out for shuttle play. And he's getting a lot of turrets up, so he's going to be pretty well defended against Reaver play. And I'm not sure what Pure's plan is here. We'll see how effective he is. He's going to need to have the micro of the gods here if he's going to be effective against all these missile turrets. You can see the number of missile turrets; they're all over the place, and he'll have more than enough time to react and to try and defend against them. And there it is.